We're here at Patriot Fitness this afternoon, and I'd like to take a little time to explain proper, safe lifting on the bench press. And I know, one of the main things is that bench press is one of the most common lifts that everybody does. Everybody always wants to talk about how much they lifted on the bench press. So we just wanted to target that today, so everybody knows what proper technique and safe lifting is with the bench press. We don't want anybody getting injured here at Patriot Fitness, and we want you to get the best out of your workout. First of all, I want to point out some safety things. First and foremost, never lift without a spotter. You always want to have someone spotting you on the bench press. If you're doing moderate to lightweight, you can use one spotter. If you were going to do heavy weights, maxes, and you're lifting quite a bit, you want to make sure that you've got a guy on each end as well to help catch that in case something would happen that you couldn't fulfill the lift. The other thing is, as you're starting out lifting, maybe you lifted back in high school and you haven't been to the gym for years. You want to make sure that you start out with a weight that you can rep and do relatively easily. Until you gain that stability, it takes a lot of strength and stability to get your technique and get the proper lifting down. So always make sure that you're starting out light and then work your way up a little bit at a time. It's not something you just want to jump into. I know a lot of people like to brag about it, but be safe. We want everybody to live long and healthy. That's why we have a gym here. So one other thing is we want to always make sure that you have collars on each side and have them in place and locked down. We have the spring collars here, which are very easy to use. So it doesn't take long to put them on there. There's no reason not to ever have the lock collars on. Always make sure. Now this seems relatively ridiculous to mention this when you're sitting here watching this video, but always make sure the weights are even on each side. A lot of times when you're lifting with buddies, you'll be in here and you may have one guy putting weights on one side and one guy on the other. Whoever's doing the actual lift needs to do a check and make sure that you've got the same amount of weight on each side, because that can create a real problem, as you can imagine, when you get into heavy weights especially. So moving on away from the safety, I want to talk a little bit about proper form. We've got a Levi over here on this empty bar. We want to talk about the proper form in bench press. You want to make sure your feet stay flat on the floor. Okay. You always want to have your buttocks all the way on the bench, and you want to have your shoulder blades on the bench. Okay. So in proper lifting form, all three of those things: feet on the floor, butt on the bench, and shoulder blades on the bench. And then also, you want to make sure that when you grab the bar, that you are just outside of the width of the shoulders. Okay, so when I go to grab the bar, then put your hands down. When I go to grab the bar, I'm usually right here with my outer pinkies on these rings. They're kind of a ring here that's not knurled, and that's kind of my marking point. But that's just outside my shoulders. Okay, so that's the width of the grip that you want to have when you're doing the bench press. Like I said, the main thing is that you don't get in a hurry. You don't try to go up and weight too much, too fast, and you want to have proper form. So I'm going to demonstrate the lift. I'm going to jump back over here on the other bench where we have the weight. I'm going to demonstrate the lift, and Levi's going to spot me. So Levi's going to jump on over here. A couple other things real quick as I do the lift. You'll notice when I bring the weight down, you never want to bounce the weight. You'll see guys in here all the time that want to bounce that weight, get that bar depressed into the chest, and it helps them try to push that up. It's not a legal lift, so it's pointless to do it that way. and it's a real safety risk. If you happen to go too deep, you could crack a rib, you could injure yourself. So don't be bouncing out off your chest. It's not gaining anything anyway. And then also, you want to come down. As you come down slow, and if you come down slow, you won't bounce it. But as you come down slow, then as you engage to go back up, then you lock in and you push it straight up. And you want to bring that bar down right across your chest. Right across your chest. So anyway, we're going to demonstrate that for you today. Make sure that your spotter helps you out on the rack to the point where you get the bar stabilized and get it balanced before you start down. Okay. Alright. So it's stabilized. Alright, got my hands. Make sure your hands are wrapped around it. Don't let it just sit on your palms. I'm going to bring it down slow. And I'm going to force it up. As you can see, this is the weight that I can do while I'm talking to you, okay? And I can rep it several times, so I'm not overdoing it. All right. Keep your spotter in place. Make sure you have a competent spotter that's going to stay there, that's going to be in a position where if for some reason an arm collapses or you cannot fulfill the weight, the lift, to just make sure that guy is going to be there to catch that and help you out. It doesn't necessarily mean he has to be as big as you or as strong as you, but he's there to be able to help you, and usually having someone there to help is going to be sufficient enough. So that concludes our bench press for today, and I hope that helps you. If you want any further instruction on how to maybe increase your bench press or to get better technique, meet up with some of us personal trainers here at Patriot Fitness, and we'll do our best to help you out. Thank you.
I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you.